everywhere. This is going to be going live. Hello, everybody out there. This is Monty Anderson with 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. And trying some different lighting here, different angles and things like that. Getting everything locked in and, put back into place. But welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson. And as the title says, opportunities abound. Opportunities abound, and we'll get into that here in just a moment. Uno momento, por favor. Once we start seeing our regulars come in and check things out and be here and have a good time. But welcome, welcome. If you are coming in here, don't forget to like, share, and follow. And if you do follow me, go ahead and go into my profile and click that little bell icon and click on the 2 that says all. That way you know when I post and when I go live. And Ballerina, I'm sorry I missed your stuff last night. I was doing things around the house, so I couldn't stop in on your live channel, and I apologize for that. She usually pops in on ours, so I like to return the favor. And Ballerina, what's her tag? Sorry, see, I can't even think. I can't even think straight right now. But Ballerina, if you do show up, I am going to be on your live shows, and I know sometimes you do too, depending, and all of that good stuff. But Casey, welcome to the show. How is it going with you today? And we've already got an idiot showing up for the show prior to you being here, which you're not an idiot, absolutely not, 100%. But we are going to be talking about all kinds of cool stuff today. And if continued comments like that, you will be blocked. Congratulations. Welcome to the show. So, let us see here. Opportunities abound is what today's title is going to be, because we are doing a lot of cool stuff right now. Another novel artwork coming up, which is going to be pretty cool. Another horror book like that. And we look forward to it. We're getting ready to do another book signing coming up. What is today? What is today? The 8th? In 8 days. In 8 days. Yep, those are my paintings back there. Right back there. That is a print of my original, which is actually sitting back over there. And then the original Other Ozzy right there. But thank you for noticing, Kurt. That's what I do. I am an illustrator, just like you see here on my shirt right here. All that goody good stuff. And yes, Mike, you are bullying on my channel, so I can block you at any point in time. So just know. Keep it up, buddy. Keep it up. All right. So let's go with how the Oklahoma City Thunder just rolled again, making it 6 straight over the LA losers that they are, and how everybody's up in arms over the games. It's kind of funny because King LaQueen James is the biggest flopper out there, the biggest shit talker out there when it comes to playing the game. And yet, they are the ones. Yeah, this app is absolutely something, 100%. And they are the ones crying the loudest because, oh, SGA is getting all this treatment. But SGA was getting bear hugged last night multiple times, and he's the one that ended up getting a foul called against him. So it makes no sense. But that's how it goes. And everybody's like, well, everybody needs to look into the referees of Oklahoma City. Well, they're NBA referees. They're not Oklahoma City referees. Don't forget to like, share, and follow as you get here. And enjoy the show. So again, Thunder rolled again to an 18-point victory last night. So they are now 2-0. on the series, and I think LA will potentially win one game, and it could be at their stadium. But I'm hoping that the Thunder just goes ahead and sweeps them and gets this over with, because all the LeBron James talk and all that junk is just not worth it. 100%. And they aren't good at all. LA is not good at all. Period. So they just need to go home. And what better place to send them packing than their own stadium? You know, all they got to do is win two more and done. And then that will be 8 straight against LA and done. And then they move on to the Spurs or whoever they're playing next. The Timberwolves or the Spurs, either one. Doesn't matter. We don't care. Bring them on. Oklahoma City Thunder will roll again. So there you go. All right. So opportunities abound. We met a guy here just the other day on one of our live shows, just the other day, and from there we have already got a new novel in the works, potentially a comic book later on. So that's going to be cool and exciting, all in itself. And looking forward to that. We've been in the talks, just like I have with the other author that I'm working with for his book and his book cover that I'm working on right now. That we have the book signing happening for his book too. Dennis, what up, man? Welcome to the broadcast booth. And so opportunities are coming left and right as we speak. And I'm working on, I think, 6 different commission pieces right now. The one that's over here, the one that's sitting right there, the one that's sitting right there, and then 2 more up here and another one in the works. So I've got work for days, which is a good thing, which is a great thing, and I look forward to it. And it's just like one thing after another, but we like it, we enjoy it, and we want to see it. And there is no green screen here, buddy. So good job. Good job. We don't use green screen here. You get to see the really real world. Unlike what you're living in, apparently. So, welcome to the reality. Take the blue or the red pill and jump ship. What up, Dennis? We've got a real winner on here today who's probably going to be gone pretty soon. And then he'll pull out his second account and come find me. I get it. That's what people like to do. That's how they are. That's how they roll. But it doesn't bother me. You keep creating accounts and I'll keep blocking them. It's all good. You just have the people like that on a regular basis. So, good. I'll block them all. It doesn't bother me one bit at all. Um, Getting back into the world of 3D printing as well. So that's fun and exciting again. Get that going for us. As long as the prints come out. Sometimes they don't. It happens. We're using resin printing, so there you go. Sometimes it just sticks and doesn't want to do what it wants to do. It does what it wants to do and not what we want it to do on a regular basis. So, how is everybody doing out there today? How is your teams, if they made it to the finals, working out for you? Like I said, ours is rolling along nicely with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And we're enjoying the ride so far. So far, because, just like it says for Mr. Roy, who's not here right now because I'm sure he doesn't want to be on here. Most complaints in history. I appreciate that. That's a piece of my artwork that you're looking at right here. They complained so much that they pulled the refs together after the game was over to another 18-point loss and did a conference with the referees, only with the Lakers side of the ball, just to complain even more. So, That's just hilarious to me, that the Lakers feel like they need some special treatment going in, you know, to the playoff realm, and they just can't hang with the champions of Oklahoma City. So, new book deals are coming in, new comic book opportunities are coming in, and that's how we roll here because that's all we do. Being a disabled veteran, being a homesteader, and doing illustration on a regular basis is what we do around here. But here we talk about horror movies, sci-fi movies, comic books, comic book artwork, my comic books, my comic book artwork, and so on and so forth. That's what we do here. So if you're here and this is your first time, and some of you it is your first time, obviously, um, that's what we discuss here. But we also talk about sports, from some baseball, which is America's pastime, the NFL football seasons, basketball right now, and that's pretty much the sports we talk about. Unless you're, an Arkansas fan, which we are not here, and then we talk about your basket weaving championship for your men, if you want to call it that, or call them that. But Roy would be defending them if he was here, and he is not. So you can talk about them till you're blue in the face, and that's how we roll. So, with all of that being said, with the new opportunities brings new challenges. Because I am helping people get connected with other people in the industry as well. Since I work with people that are in the movie industry, I work with people that are in the book industry, being authors and things like that. It's called connecting people together. And it is one of those things where you can network people together because I do know several people, and not just like your normal everyday person. You know, it is. I know people in the movie industry, like I said. One of them even was in The Walking Dead, who is a huge proponent for all the mental health awareness stuff, and he being an ex-military as well, him being deployed like I was, not at the same time, but pretty close to around the same times. And then getting to meet him and become friends with him, that's pretty cool. Especially him being a high profile guy, you know. He's been making a lot of movies here lately, including his own movies and TV shows. Right now he's working on Back from the Dead, and that is a full-time gig for him right now and his crew that are filming in Tennessee, I believe, is where they're at right now. I think that's where they're filming their TV show. He is using a few of the locations that were in The Walking Dead because they are available. So that's pretty cool for him being on The Walking Dead. And then from there, the other one is a local guy. He does a lot of horror movies and things like that. I've been in a few of his films, and he is working on some new movies right now. I'm trying to remember what he's doing right this moment because he was working on one that got kind of scrapped, which is sad for him. But he is not letting that stop him. I know he's doing some books, and he's getting ready to be at the Fort Smith Comic Con with an actor that he has used many times for his fan films because he does a lot of fan films as well. He's done a few Friday the 13th fan films with Jason and things like that. And this actor, James Stokes, has portrayed Jason Voorhees for him in several of his fan films. So, and I know both of those guys, and I'm in the works of a comic book with the producer. So, Mr. James Pitts is his name. So, if you want to look him up, you can. Uh, he has a lot of. He's on IMDb, Jason Pitts. So, there's opportunities abounding there. But this new opportunity, he is a up and coming author, and we're looking forward to his stuff. He's got a really good idea brewing in his repertoire of things, and it's a cool concept. I'm looking forward to that one, and it's going to be fun. But again, I'm putting networks together, him and another author, so that he can get the ins and outs of publishing, and so that he can also get all the stuff he needs to legalize his product, his characters, and things like that, to get them copyrighted and to get the ISBN numbers and all of that good stuff. So that's where networking comes in. Because if you can help other people, do it. And that's what we advocate for, is being the type of person that you want to be around. And that is, the world needs more kindness in it. And you don't get to see that a lot because you got a lot of keyboard warriors out there. And like we've talked about many, many times, this generation would not survive the generation that most of us grew up in. Being anything from the 1920s to the early 1990s, you know? And you put this generation in that situation, they're not coming out of it, period. And it shows. And that's even with sports players as well, on any sport. Because football used to be football. Now they just might as well do what they're doing with the Olympics with it, turn it into flag football, just like the Pro Bowl, and just get it over with. Because any little tap with a pinky to the face mask is now a foul. And now they're even coming up with more rules for that situation as well. And it's just like, that's not football. That's not football at all. Football is when you got to hit somebody. And, you really had to do something horrible when you hit somebody back in the day for it to be called a foul. But now, any little thing is called a foul. You touch the wide receiver wrong, it's a foul. You hit a lineman in a certain way, it's a foul. A lineman does this, it's a foul. You run close to the sideline, it's a foul. No, Mean Joe Green definitely would not be allowed in today's football. Just like several of them, Charles Woodson would not be allowed in today's football. Um, but you get so many crybabies in every sport, it's not even funny. I mean, just like I showed you, 27 different. What was it here? 27 different complaints, the most in NBA history, right there. And guess who it's by? Queen LeBron. Right there. Queen LeBron, after losing 6 straight to Oklahoma City this season alone. So yeah, the whole aspect of just a bunch of crybabies in sports now. Sports just aren't sports anymore in reality, and it's sad. It's completely sad that you don't have that cool opportunity to play sports without a foul happening every 5 minutes or so. You know. So, but there you go. But welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson, and we are talking about opportunities abound. Yeah, I don't understand that what he gets or how he gets his. I mean, yeah, you're the old man of the league. You've been there for 20 plus years, and it's time for you to retire. I mean, in reality, And a lot of people are like, well, he can continue to play for another 19 years and be okay. Why? So you can pad stats. So you can supposedly become the greatest player alive. Yeah, you started at 18. You came straight out of high school. One of the first people to do that. Congratulations. Go home. You've been on countless numbers of teams. You've already won your championships with several different teams. It's just time to go home. Time to pack it up, go home, and let this younger generation have it. Because all you're doing out there is flopping around. Um, you're the queen of the flops. Everybody knows it, unless you're an LA fan, and then you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. You're the goat, is what they call him, and it's not even close. You know, and everybody compares him, to MJ, Michael Jordan, if you don't know what that means, and even both of them tell you don't put us in the same category. It's different eras, you know. And even Michael Jordan was asked, could the '90s Bulls beat the LeBron-led team, and by how much? And Jordan said, yeah, we could beat them by 2 to 3 points. And they were like, why such a short margin? He's like, because most of us are in our 60s now. Classic Jordan. Classic Jordan. But, you know, but again, this generation is so soft, it's not even funny. Everybody likes to hide behind their keyboards. And it's just like everybody that is griping about this series between LA and OKC, and how the hate for OKC is unreal. They're one of the, you know, younger teams in the league after buying the Supersonics and, moving them down to Oklahoma City back in 2008, 2009, after having, of course, the New Orleans Hornets at the time. Now they're the Pelicans because the Hornets wanted their name back. And now they're talking about expanding the franchise to some more teams, and Supersonics are going to be back on the table because Washington, or correction, Seattle, retained the rights to the Supersonics. And so they're potentially going to have another team in Seattle, another pro team, even though they proved that they couldn't sustain that up there for basketball other than WNBA. So make that make sense. But I try not to make sense with things anymore because a lot of things just don't make sense. But when it comes down to it, the leagues are just soft all the way around. Everything is becoming powder puff football, if you will, powder puff basketball. I was watching highlights and a portion of the game last night where SGA is getting, bear hugged, literally bear hugged by Revis or Reeves or whatever, however the hell you want to say his name. But yet, SGA is the one that gets the foul called on him as he's trying to break out of this fucking bear hug. But everybody's like, "Oh, SGA is the one doing the fouling." No. If your referees called it the right way, Revis, who was now on the ground holding his little elbow, in pain, he would have got the foul, not SGA. But you see it league wide, and I'm not just talking about Oklahoma City. I'm talking about every team goes through the same things. And if you're a great player, like SGA is, you're going to get those bear hugs and things like that, which shouldn't be happening. I mean, I can remember back in the day, yes, back in the day, I'll use that term, when if you were guarding someone and you were, kept them in front of you, pressing them, you could reach around and grab hold of the ball and push it away or get it for your team. Well, now you're seeing literal bear hugs on people that aren't being called fouls. And only when the person breaks away is a foul called, and it's usually on the person breaking away, trying to get open and trying to, get the basketball and move on. This whole new generation of shit is just crazy to me. And I watch it in every sport that I watch. I don't watch baseball so much. It's just too long and drawn out anymore. Now watching it in person is a different story because you get to people watch, you get to watch the game, you get to, all that good stuff. But watching baseball at home, eh, I'll let that slide. You guys can have that. Watching basketball at home, it's okay. Again, I'd rather watch it in person. And then watching football, depending on college or pros, college is a little better because faster paced than pros. And what needs to happen in football on both sides of the fence, college to pro, is the same fouls need to be called on both sides of the fence for pros and for college so that you don't have a whole new learning curve once you go from the college sports to the pro sports. Because, like in college sports, 1 foot down with the ball is a catch before you go out of bounds. Pro sports, you have to have both feet down with control of the ball, and then it's a catch before you go out of bounds. And then there's plenty other rules out there for that jump between the college to pro level. And it's not just in football, but basketball as well as baseball, so on and so forth. So they need to make the rules the same across the board. And it's just like the whole controversial logos and things like that. The Redskins got changed into the Commanders, and now there's up in arms about the spear going through the W of the helmet because it's still derogatory towards the Indians. I'm Indian. I don't have a problem with it. Yes, I know I don't look like an Indian, but I am. I'm a very small portion of Cherokee. So there you go. And just to see how lax things are nowadays when it comes to sports, it's quite humorous. Because again, if this generation played back in the 70s, 80s, or well, just start with the 20s through the, you know, or the 60s. Let's just go with the 60s when most teams were incorporated into football, pro football. From the 60s, 50s to 60s to early 90s, a lot of these guys wouldn't even be playing football. Let's just be real. Because turf toe wasn't a thing back then. You played through whatever pain you had. Yeah, they were probably giving you some kind of shot to numb that pain back in the day, which I'm sure they still do today. We just don't know as much about it like we do now about what happened back then. And this generation just wouldn't survive those times, just because they're a soft generation. And football, basketball, baseball, hockey. Hockey is probably one of the more brutal sports, as well as rugby, where football got its origins from. Because in rugby, you're not using any pads, and you're still full on hitting somebody. I mean, yeah, there's a mouth guard involved, but most of them don't wear those either. So, just like in regular pro football, they don't wear their mouth guards or they have it dangling from their mask, those type things. So, but welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. We're talking about opportunities abound right now. We're talking about some sports stuff. Um, but people come across your path for a reason, you know. And the guy I met here just the other day, who, we're now going to be working on a book together, novel. It's kind of how I met my first novelist that I'm working with and working on his second cover, which he's got the books already ordered without the cover right now. for the book signing on the 16th, and it's coming along quite nicely. Still a lot of work to go on it on this cover. I've shown it a couple times on here in the past. And the synopsis for this new author that he's working on is pretty cool. And the nice thing is, he's already got music for his stuff, which is kind of unheard of because most people will work on the book first and then they will get everything else lined up later, especially if they are going to do a movie or a TV series, hopefully out of their project. And that's kind of what he's hoping for, is that he gets a movie deal or a TV series deal out of this book. So he's in the process of writing the book. He's got the synopsis done for the back cover of the book. I will be drawing up something for him for the cover and the back. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Because he's got a great concept. I'm not going to spill the beans on his concept at all. Because again, you don't want somebody else running away with it. That's why I don't talk too much about my comic book, other than there's cryptids in it, there's folklore in it, there's reality, which is Bigfoot and aliens and things like that. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's another opportunity to put my artwork on another novel. And this one's a dark, gritty novel. So, right up my alley. And it's just going to be fun. It's just like this project is fun with James um, from his Sour Worlds collection. I think he's got a 4-book piece in the works for his. I can't remember exactly how many he's got, but I think it's 4 books. And all the books tie in together some way, shape, form, or another by the vine that goes through it. And that's the exciting part. And he's introducing new characters into this next book, so that'll be cool. I've still got some character concepts up here that I'm working on for his book. Go ahead and move those 2 commissions out the way. Got this coming up today, my therapy session with my VA therapist. Oh, let's see here. Where are you tonight? All right. So again, what I do right here. This is my pencil and inks. This is just the inks portion now, because I've erased the pencil. Uncanny X-Men, Emma Frost on this cover. Sketch cover right here. And then our horror series, boom, 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 which I've shown a million times over here. Number 3 is already sold out of this horror series. It was Jason Voorhees. It's already been delivered to its final destination. Pumpkinhead. Candyman. It's going to have blood and it's going to have bees. Honey bees. Now, these are 2 of the characters from Sour Worlds. This is called the Knot. This is my rendition thereof of this character. He's got tree characters in his novel. And this is my rendition of his character. It's going to have smoke coming off of him and all that other good stuff once it's said and done. And this is the character called Harrow. He has metal wings and he's got razor wire and other kinds of stuff. Every woman's dream right here. Heartthrob. Boom, 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 boom. I guess some men too. I don't know. And then this is me as Wolverine from the Wolverine #1 and 13.4. We're actually a little ahead of where you are. And this is me as Wolverine. Yes, that is my face on the Wolverine. Again, this is my pose. And I decided to make it look like the Wolverine cover. Not the exact same pose, but similar. I used the same shirt that is in there, the same pants, all that good stuff. And the same moon. I just didn't put the bodies down here around his feet like is on that #1 cover. And then, of course, we've got our Harley Who Laughs, a character I didn't know existed until this year, and she was introduced back in 2022. This is one of her renditions where she's got the metal knife mask. Teeth, I'm not sure if they're drawn on or tattooed on. Her mouth, her split tongue. And then the other rendition that they have of her with her other mask, this is the first rendition, I believe, where the spikes actually come out of her skin. And of course, she's got the diamond eyes for the mask, just like she has the diamonds on her costume in the original Harley Quinn. And then, of course, the Batman Who Laughs. All these still need to be inked up. And then I'll probably end up going professional colors on them by some buddies of mine, the Kemp Studios. And then right here, the most controversial piece I have to date. Actually, it's not the controversial side, like oh, I'm the Marvel Jesus from Deadpool 2. This one is one that is the bane of my existence right now. Um, it is a memorial piece, like I've talked about before many times. And it is my Stitch Witch for a friend of mine who passed away. And the person that commissioned is a friend of theirs as well. And 4 months into the project, and I still never got a payment until I called him out. And basically told him that I was going to put flyers on his car, flyers on his business, since he is the manager of a business. He doesn't own it, but he is the manager thereof. And then he tried to paint me as the bad guy. You're 4 months into a project that you commissioned, and I cut you a big deal on it, a big rate deal, because it is a memorial piece for somebody that we both know, that we're friends with, and you haven't paid a dime on the project. And I never should have even started it until half payment was in. And I still don't even have half payment in yet. It's nearly complete. I still have some more things to do to it, but I've stopped on it. But this is the piece in question. This is Stitch Witch, because some of her favorite things are dragons, and then of course she liked Stitch, and she was also a Wiccan. So I did this rendition, you know, Stitch in a witch hat with a broom in his hand, a witch's broom. And we're still only $33 into the project, which isn't even half of what needs to come in. But we'll get there. We'll get there, because he was supposed to be paying some more this week. I haven't heard squat from him yet. He's very bad at communication, 100%. Because he was like, as he painted me into the bad guy, that I should have been communicating with him about his finances. Make that make sense. Like, I know what's happening with your finances. Like, I know what's happening in your personal life. I don't. Just pay and we're done. That's it. That's how it goes. Just pay your purchase price. You're done. We move on. A lot of this could have been avoided. All you got to do is let me know what's going on, and I won't come at you sideways, as he put it. It still rubs me the wrong way, a lot of ways, if you can't tell. So, um, so once I'm done with him and this project, never again, never again until he pays up front, you know, which I doubt he will ever come back to me again, which is fine with me. It's like when people complain about Walmart and talk about never going again. Ooh, that just hurt Walmart. It's not going to hurt me if he never comes back again. That's just less drama in my life. And I'm already working more book deals. So what difference does it make? You know? And that's the things you got to look into when you're doing things for yourself. You've got to watch out for the idiots of the world, if you will. And it's like they're plenty and plentiful out there. And you all know what I'm talking about because you all deal with them too. And it's like you can't avoid them. You can try all you want to, but they just keep popping up like roaches, you know? And then whenever the lights get turned on them, they scatter just like roaches. And everybody loves a roach, right? I mean, the hissing cockroaches, they're cool, you know? And there's some other cockroaches that are cool, but your common house cockroach, which did not originate here in the United States, by the way. So thank you, European settlers, for all that good stuff that you sent to us, from plagues and diseases to roaches. That's kind of like why I like Hawaii a little bit. There's no real bugs there. Mosquitoes are non-existent unless that's changed since I was there back in 2008. Um, you get to see the mongoose run around. You know, you get to see the true wildlife out there in Hawaii, and the sea life alone, amazing, amazing. I snorkeled most of the time we were there. We were there training troops, and we were there for 3 weeks. Worked a week and a half. Never had consecutive days off, or I would have been scuba certified because they wouldn't let us take the course unless we could have 3 consecutive days in a row with the course to get certified. But so that didn't happen, and I haven't gone back to do it again, or even got certified here stateside. But that's neither here nor there. I was snorkeling as much as I could. We would go to several different beaches around Oahu, and it was quite fun. Got a lot of video and a lot of pictures of sea life from swimming with, not touching the sea turtles, because you're technically not supposed to touch the sea turtles, but a lot of people do, like special people they are. And then all the other, eels and tarpon and other fish you get to see. I was hoping to see a shark, but we went to a spot where we could have seen hammerhead, but it was full of man o' war, so we couldn't get in the water. And if you don't know what man o' war is, that's a jellyfish, a highly poisonous jellyfish. So we couldn't get in the water then. Made me sad. Because I really did want to swim with a shark, to at least see one up close. I saw a 6 foot barracuda, like about 5 feet away. Um, so that was cool. He was attracted to my dog tags that fell out of my shirt, my surf shirt, and they were flashing in the sun under the water, so it attracted him. And he got within about 5 feet of me, and then saw that I was pretty good size, and decided he would swim away. It was a black tip barracuda, but swimming with some moray eels, several different eels that I was swimming with. That was cool. And then all the other fish, the parrotfish. I mean, the list goes on and on. I've got a little book of all the fish that I saw, you know, while I was there for those 3 weeks. And then, of course, all the Dole plantation and things like that over in Hawaii was pretty cool. Armed security guards on the plantation. That's how serious they take their pineapple growing, because they don't want anybody thieving it, because it takes a while to grow one pineapple on one plant. So, and they've got cultivation of plants on a regular basis. It's quite the process. Let's put it that way. If you've never been over there, go check it out, or go even look it up online and see how they do it. It's pretty interesting. And then the local cuisines was great. Um, Food trucks abound all over Oahu, except right in the middle of Oahu where the restaurants are. And then you've got your local eateries, the local nationals there from Hawaii, um, the islanders, if you will, that actually grew up in Hawaii, lived in Hawaii, and their family still lives there, and they still do all the good stuff and cool stuff there. So, and it's just very interesting to get those authentic foods. You know, it's just like whenever you travel from country to country and you try the the cuisines at each spot that you stop in, it's just phenomenal the flavorings that you get. Whereas you get all the Americanized bullshit, Chili's and TGI Fridays, and Mexican restaurants aren't really Mexican restaurants. It's Tex-Mex at its best, at its finest. Now you can find some authentic places, in the towns you live in, but you got to do some searching. Just like we found out yesterday that there was a Chinese restaurant that not too far from us that we didn't even know existed, until we saw it on TikTok. Someone was visiting there and was like, "Really? I didn't even know this existed. I didn't know it was a thing." And it's one that we'll have to go try and check out because we're big on the Chinese food, the Asian foods, you know. And yeah, you get the not so authentic stuff. You get the Americanized version of the Asian foods for the most part, but you do get your you know your Vietnamese places or Japanese houses and things like that. We're getting ready to get a new restaurant here in the Fort Smith area that is called Tokyo. It's going to have some different foods in it, I hope. I haven't looked into their menu from other places that they are, so that's something I will be doing, just so I can get familiar with and be like, oh, this will be cool. Because Fuji's here is just eh. If you like a lot of fried Asian food, go for it. But I'm not a big Fuji fan myself. The K pot is good. It's rather expensive, but it's good. Especially if you go on the weekend. They have a different rate for the weekend than they do during the week. So if you're into Asian foods and things like that, there's plenty of options in Fort Smith area. So there you go. Now that brings us back to opportunities abound. Opportunities are around every corner. Um, you just have to keep your eyes open. Like, had I not corresponded with this guy to work on this next book, it would be very cool. I would have missed out. It wouldn't have been cool. I would have missed out on the whole thing. But we are now getting a rapport together that it's going to be a good working relationship when it comes down to it for me working on the artwork for his book and potentially again a comic book down the road. You always have to watch for opportunities because they're there. That could mean a better paying job somewhere else for you. That could be a a friendship somewhere down the line that leads into different connections like this one is for this novel or this author. And because I'm networking him now with other authors, plus I can network him with some movie producers as well. And so that's a cool thing with that. And like I said, he's already got music going for his stuff, which is unheard of um, because most people will um, have the music done later, but he's already thinking 3 steps ahead. That what if this becomes popular and it gets turned into a movie or a TV series? And I've been talking to him about that. And those are opportunities that you don't want to put to bed because what if? It's just like the whole Marvel Comics what if series that they had. Because what if the book goes through the roof and people want to see it as a movie or a cartoon or an animated series? What if the book doesn't take off but the comic book does and vice versa? Now you've got Invincible, which is on Amazon Prime. And so, which started out as a comic book, turned into an animated series, and now they're talking about doing some movies. You know, not just an animated series, just like The Boys, based off a comic book series, and so many other movies out there that are based off of comic books or novels, obviously off of novels, but so many out there that are based off of comic books. If the opportunity wasn't there to make it happen, and somebody didn't like what they saw or read, then that opportunity squashed, was dead, was died, had died. So again, there's always opportunities for your work to become something else. Just like I hope that whenever I get my comic book up and running, that someone enjoys it enough that they're like, "Hey, let's turn this into a let's turn this into a let's do a huge franchise on this." Okay, let's go. 21.5 thousand likes. We are in the popular live category. Don't forget to like, share, and follow as you get here. And find opportunities in your day to day. I know sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes the opportunities don't seem to be there, period. But opportunities abound if you look. It's just like finding that penny that's tails side up. You're not supposed to pick that up. So what you do is you take that penny, you leave the edge on the ground and lift it up, turn it upside down and put the face up. Then you walk away from it. Whoever finds that penny next can pick it up safely if you're into that type of superstition and things like that. Some people are, some people aren't. That's an opportunity for somebody else, because you saw the penny tails up, you flipped it by keeping the edge on the ground and flipped it up and turned it face side up, head side up, and now somebody else has the opportunity to find that penny the correct way. Now I know some people will automatically just pick that penny up even if it was tails because they don't have that superstition, that some people do. Because money's money to them, right? And I get that 100%. But I appreciate for the opportunities whenever people get on here and talk cool about things, you know. Now, if you come at me sideways like one person did right off the bat, it doesn't go for a very good interaction, you know. And other people feel the same way about conversations that happen. And so you just have to get to the full meaning of what they're trying to get to sometimes. And again, there's opportunities there. You either keep your mouth shut or you confront the situation. Either way is okay. It doesn't matter. It's just how you want to attack the situation, you know? And it's like attacking artwork. I'm 15 paintbrushes in to everything that I'm working on. Pencils, pens, so on and so forth. And all of that goody good stuff. All right, guys, I hate to do it, but I hear some animals moving around. I do appreciate each and everybody being here. Yes, I have animals in the house that need to go potty and things like that. So I do appreciate each and everybody being here. I know we haven't hit our hour mark today, but we're very close. But I've got animals that are getting restless. So I appreciate each and everybody being here and the opportunities that abound. Love you guys. And don't forget to tell people that you love them as well because tomorrow is never promised. And as we like to say as we leave you guys, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.